It's the 7th day of being Wilder's tutor. I dreamed about the future. In the dream, 2 years later, Wilder would hold my wrist and press me on the desk, kissing me so passionately that we forget everything else. After waking up in a startle, I don't know how to tell Wilder about this. Because he is speaking coldly about me to his friends. I hate Wendy. If all the women in the world died out, I still couldn't like her. When I first met Wilder, I knew he was a troublemaker. At that time, I was standing at the gate of the Chen family's villa and knocked on the door. "Hello. I am the new tutor." No one answered. The door was ajar. So I pushed it open. By the time I realized something was wrong, it was too late. A glass of water poured down from the sky and drenched me like a drowned rat. Immediately after, there came the wanton laughter of several young people. "Look." She fell for it. "Zoe, your suggestion is good." The girl named Zoe raised her head, as proud as a peacock. But she ignored everyone. She just looked up to the second floor. "Brother Wilder. Is it exciting?" There was a boy standing on the second floor. I admit that I have never seen such a beautiful boy. Pale and handsome. When he lowered his eyes, there was a hint of naughty divinity. His thin lips curled up coldly and he said, "Boring. Are you Wilder?" I asked. Are they your friends?" I took out a tissue and wiped my face. "I am the live and tutor your father just hired for you. My name is Wendy. You can call me Teacher Zhao Yang or Sister." Wilder let out a soft sneer. He didn't seem to recognize my identity. But I am not angry at all. Even though my hair is still dripping, I walked towards the second floor with steady steps. The people around couldn't laugh anymore. "What's going on? Why isn't she crying? Is she in shock? Oh my God." She came in. Didn't the previous ones all run away in anger on the spot? I walked straight up to Wilder. "Thank you and your friends for the welcome gift. I also have a small surprise for you." I unscrewed the lid of the thermos cup. I poured it all over Wilder's head without leaving a drop. Wilder was stunned. Not only was Wilder stunned, his Fairweather friends were also stunned. The villa was silent. Zoe was the first to scream. "Are you crazy? How dare you treat Brother Wilder like this? Do you know that for a poor college student like you, the Chen family can crush you easily?" "Oh. I almost forgot about you." I picked up my wet canvas bag and threw it hard. It hit Princess Zoe right on. I know who she is. The daughter of the He group. She is from a family of equal social status as the Chen family, and is also Wilder's childhood sweetheart. There are rumors that they may get married. But none of this has anything to do with me. I am here to be a tutor, not a slave. Whoever bullies me, I will fight back. Zoe had never suffered such humiliation and yelled loudly. I simply took out my phone and recorded a video. "What are you doing? Let Chairman Chen see who is affecting his son's tutoring." Zoe closed her mouth in surprise. She knew that her family's business still needed the help of the Chen family. She was afraid of Chairman Chen. "If there's nothing else, I'll put away my luggage first." I turned to look at Wilder. He is now just like me, with his hair tips all wet and water droplets dripping down. After 3 seconds of silence, he suddenly curled up the corner of his mouth. "What's your name again?" "Wendy. I remember you. You better not forget." For Wilder is 4 years younger than me. He is a real underachiever. His total score for all subjects in the college entrance examination is 250. A score that suits his personality very well. Chairman Chen wants to send him abroad. So he is looking for famous teachers to tutor him in English. At first, all the tutors invited were foreign teachers. Unfortunately, Wilder is too naughty and has driven all the foreign teachers away. Helplessly, this job finally falls on me. Although I am still a student. When I took the college entrance examination, I was the top scorer in English. Now I am also the first in the English major. It's summer vacation and I can't stay in the dormitory. In order to facilitate tutoring every day, I can only move in and live and eat with Wilder. In the afternoon, I passed by Wilder's game room. The door wasn't closed tightly. The conversation was clearly audible. Brother Yi, your new tutor is quite interesting. She is also very beautiful. Are you blind? Zoe is in a very bad mood. She has a shabby air all over. Is that called beautiful? That's right. She is far worse than Miss He. I bet she will leave within this month. Wilder, who hadn't said a word all along, suddenly spoke. I bet 3 days. 5 soon. I knew why Wilder was so confident. He really thought of a bad idea. And next evening, according to the plan, I went to Wilder's room to find him for class. He wasn't at the desk. Instead, the sound of showering came from the bathroom. I asked, "Are you taking a shower?" I'll be done soon. Then I'll come back later." Wait a moment. Wilder was rarely polite. "I forgot to take my bath towel. It's on the bed. Please pass it to me." He stretched out a hand from the crack of the door. I noticed that his little finger was limp and seemed to have a broken bone. Without thinking much, I turned around to get the bath towel. "This gray one? Catch it." Before I could finish speaking, Wilder suddenly grabbed my wrist and directly pulled me in. The bathroom was filled with steam. Wilder was bare-chested, with a bath towel loosely wrapped around his waist. He is not yet 20 years old and is at an age when he likes all kinds of sports. Therefore, even if he doesn't have the habit of working out, he still has evenly distributed lean muscles and an unbelievably good-looking body line. I was somewhat stunned by the beauty. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door outside. The nanny said, "Young master, the fruits have been washed. I'll bring them in for you." I instantly understood Wilder's intention. You deliberately asked the nanny to bring fruits at this time, so that she can catch me intruding into the bathroom, right? Wilder said. "You are very clever. The nanny will tell your parents, and then have me replaced." "Yes. Do you like this second gift?" "Thank you. I like it very much." Wilder raised a smile, thinking that his scheme had succeeded. But in the next second, I stretched out my hand and touched his muscles. "Then I won't be polite." Wilder was completely stunned. He had never expected this at all. My fingertip gently rubbed on his body, from the chest muscles all the way down, together with the not yet dried water droplets. Occasionally, when my fingernail grazed his skin, Wilder would tremble involuntarily. The body of a teenager has a unique cleanliness, but it also has the sense of strength of an adult male. It is inappropriately sexy. There is a bath towel wrapped. With a little force, the bath towel will fall off. Wilder was still in a daze, but his body had already given an honest response. For example, his ears were red as if bleeding. And then, under the bath towel, "Wilder, do you want me to help you change a bath towel?" My voice was very soft, just like a feather scratching. At this time, the nanny was getting impatient outside. "Young master, aren't you in the room? Then I'll go in." "Don't come in," Wilder blurted out. The nanny had just pushed open the bedroom door and quickly closed it again. "Then I'll put the fruits at your door. I'll go and do my work first." The sound of footsteps gradually faded away. Only then did I let go of my hand and resume my coldness. "Competing with me? Do you really think sister is a vegetarian?" 7 After this battle, Wilder's anger towards me reached its peak. There are many reasons for his anger. For example, he lifted a rock only to drop it on his own foot. Another example is that I pulled away too quickly, leaving him standing there alone, looking very stupid. I even heard him say to his friend, "I didn't know what kind of girl I hated the most before. Now I know. It's Wendy like that. Saying I'm arrogant? Get lost. Even if all the women in the world die out, I still can't like her." Fortunately, he calmed down for a few days and didn't provoke me again. An accident happened on the night of the 7th day. I fell asleep as usual, but I had a very strange dream. In the dream, There was another me, being pressed on the table by Wilder. It was the table where I tutored him every day. He undid the buttons on my shirt with one hand. The other hand is not easy to describe. Sister, I wanted to do this 2 years ago, he said in a low and panting voice. Pleadingly. Kiss me. Okay? I stared at all this in astonishment. There was a calendar on the table. The time is April 2026. 2 years later? Could it be that I dreamed about the future? The scene changed. And the time came to August 2026. The scene shifted to the bed. 20-year-old Wilder had a better figure than now. The dim light reflected the undulating rhythm. Sweat dripped from his forehead. Wendy. Look at me. I am your good puppy. Don't leave me again. Okay? He pleaded so piously like a believer. I couldn't bear to watch such a steamy scene. I woke up. My heart was pounding wildly in my chest. It was just a dream. It's okay. I comforted myself and put this dream behind me. At the next morning, Wilder didn't wake up until noon. Today, he was actually sitting on the sofa in a daze at 8 o'clock. He had dark circles under his eyes and looked like he didn't sleep well. I greeted him calmly. You got up early. He bounced up from the sofa like he had seen a monster. You, what are you stammering about? Speak quickly if you have something to say. I can never like you. And I can never call you sister. Crazy. I looked at him. His tongue was tied. And his ears were extremely red. Not like his usual arrogant appearance. It's a bit strange. I threw a dictionary over. If you're idle, go and memorize words. In the following days, I dreamed of scenes that seemed to be from the future. And they were all related to Wilder. In 2026, I have a decent job and wear a white shirt and a professional skirt every day. In my dream, Wilder seems to like that outfit very much. He always slowly unbuttons me. Sometimes with his hands. Sometimes with his teeth. Then slowly kiss the exposed skin. In contrast, in reality, Wilder avoids me like the plague. Even for classes. He lies about being sick and takes consecutive leaves. If you tell too many lies, they will come true. On this weekend, Wilder fell ill as he wished. He had a high fever of 39 degrees, was groggy and couldn't get out of bed. Coincidentally, the nanny is not here today. There are only the two of us in the villa. For safety reasons, I called Chairman Chen. Before I could finish describing his illness, Chairman Chen interrupted me. Just let him lie down for a few days. You don't need to report to me when he is sick in the future. I was slightly stunned. Don't take him to the hospital? There is no need for that. There came shouts of good shot from the side. Chairman Chen is playing golf. I said. Then, would you come and see him after you finish playing? I am very busy. Chairman Chen was polite and distant. Teacher Yang. Just let him fend for himself. How can this be done? I don't have only one son. As the most disappointing one. I have been patient enough with him. I didn't know what to say all of a sudden. Did you see the broken finger on his left hand? Chairman Chen suddenly asked. I saw it. I broke it. 9. What? I almost lost my voice. When Wilder was a child, he lied and said he was sick to deceive me into coming home to see him. I am so busy. How can I have time to play such a little game with him? So, I broke his little finger to teach him a lesson. Chairman Chen's laughter revealed pride. Since then, he has been honest and never told such lies again. Just breaking a little finger doesn't affect life. Look. Isn't he still full of energy now? A chill spread throughout my body. I seem to understand why Wilder has such a bad personality. Growing up in such an environment. It's strange if he isn't distorted. I stood at the door of the room and looked at the suffering Wilder. As if seeing myself when I was young. I am just like him. No one cares. I stumbled and grew up groping alone. I decided to pour a glass of water and call him to get up and take medicine. Today, There is a layer of flesh on Wilder's face. He looks a bit cute. I couldn't help reaching out and pinching his face. The feel is very good. Soft. Like a stress ball. Wilder groaned. But didn't resist. Maybe he is out of strength. After he took the medicine, I was satisfied and let go. Ready to leave. Wilder suddenly grabbed me. Sister. What did you call me? Is his brain burned out? He said he would never call me sister. Immediately after, Wilder put his whole head on my shoulder. Breathing scorching lie. What year is it today? Sister. You are in my dream again. Not speaking. Do you want to directly feel me at 39 degrees? Saying that, he took my hand and placed it on the hottest part of his body. The scalding heat in the palm of my hand made me instantly awake. There is no doubt I am not the only one having dreams about the future. Wilder also dreamed. But at this moment, he has a high fever and is delirious. Still thinking he is in a dream, I quickly pulled my hand out and gave him 2 slaps. Very light. Not painful at all. Mainly to wake him up. Wilder really woke up. Just now. Just now you mistook reality for a dream. Oh. Now it is 2024. Not 2026. He instantly widened his eyes. How do you know I dreamed of 2026? Because I dreamed of it too. This is impossible. The desk. The carpet. And this bed. Only the bedding is changed to gray. What I said are all scenes from the dream. Wilder finally believed it. Then why didn't you say it earlier? What should I say? I asked him in return. Say that you may court me in the future? Wilder was choked. I'm not wrong. In the dream. Isn't he humble and initiative? Thinking of those pictures. Wilder's heart beat like a drum. And there was another wave of heat in his body. He grabbed the quilt and covered his abdomen. Pretending to be aloof and saying, Wendy. I didn't take those dreams seriously. Dreams are all false and can't come true. I advise you not to have any improper thoughts either. Coincidentally, I didn't think about it. I deliberately glanced at the place covered by the quilt. Smiled knowingly. 77 Wilder and I reached a consensus. Just pretend those dreams never happened. I am still just a tutor. He is my employer. At the end of July, some uninvited guests came to the house. Wilder's elder brothers. They called their friends, and said they were coming to celebrate Wilder's birthday. Wilder's birthday is actually tomorrow. The 3 elder brothers came empty-handed. The birthday cake was used as a toy by them and thrown around. According to the nanny, these elder brothers come once a month. Every time they come, they make a mess of the house, which makes the nanny and cleaners suffer. Wilder doesn't like them very much. All night, his complexion was very gloomy. Before long, the guests got drunk. The female companion leaned in the arms of big brother Ryan and said, "Kokith this lie. Your younger brother is quite handsome." Ryan arched his face. He's just a good-looking shell. He's a loser. When he said this, Wilder was right beside him. He didn't care about his younger brother's face at all. Baby. Do you know how many points he got in the college entrance examination? How many? 250. Exactly 250. Everyone burst into laughter. No wonder Chairman Chen doesn't let him inherit the family business. So what if he's born to the legal wife? Now he still has to make way for us. I have heard something about Chairman Chen's private life. His wife has only one child. That is Wilder. But before Wilder was born, Chairman Chen had been having affairs outside. First, he had a bunch of illegitimate children. And then there was Wilder. Wilder's mother was so angry that she got breast cancer and finally died of the disease. As soon as his mother passed away, these elder brothers entered the house, as if they were in their own home. Like robbers. They snatched Wilder's things and bullied him. Chairman Chen would restrain them at first. Later, when his mistresses 3, 4, and 5 acted coquettously in his arms, he couldn't take care of it anymore. The jokes got bigger and bigger. Ryan completely let himself go and said, Inheritance is really powerful. Wilder is just like his own mother. He's a loser. Wilder's pupils shrank suddenly and he clenched his fist instantly. Without accident. This fist was prepared for Ryan. But before he could strike, I slapped him. Didn't your father teach you how to be a human being? 12. Ryan was stunned by me. You. I didn't give him a chance to scold me. I grabbed his hair and pressed him directly on the cake. The scene immediately became chaotic. The female companions let out screams. Big brother. Are you okay? Wilder's other two elder brothers seemed very anxious in words. But their bodies didn't move. They looked at Ryan coldly. Ryan finally reacted. Are you two blind? Come and pull her away quickly. But, big brother, men and women should not touch each other. Why didn't you say men and women should not touch each other when you were flirting with girls outside? After all, she is a tutor invited by Dad. Ryan was extremely speechless and turned his fire on me. A mere tutor. Dare to treat me like this. I will make you pay for it. Okay. I raised my phone. I have recorded all the words you just insulted Wilder's mother. I don't mind sending it to your father and the media. Although your father is a jerk, he is very shrewd. He has always been committed to playing the image of a kind entrepreneur in public. Guess what will happen if this video gets out? What will happen if his illegitimate children insult his legal wife and son? Ryan's eyes flashed a trace of fear. He pushed me away and fled to the door in 2 or 3 steps. Today. I won't bother with you for now. He quickly got into the car and fled. The other 2 elder brothers also left satisfied after watching the show. A living room returned to silence. I turned to look at Wilder. Still in a daze? Wilder finally reacted. Thank you. Don't thank me. I'm not entirely helping you. I looked at the portrait of Ms. Lana on the cabinet. She is very beautiful and kind. I won't allow anyone to insult her. Wilder was surprised. Do you know my mother? She sponsored me. I didn't lie. Although Ms. Lana passed away early, she left a sum of charity money. It is used to help poor girls who cannot go to school. I am one of the girls who received sponsorship. When the Chen family found me and said they wanted to tutor Wilder, I agreed without hesitation. There is also this reason hidden. Wilder asked. Aren't you afraid that Ryan will expose your lie? You mean recording the video? I smiled. Yes. I didn't record any evidence at all. Things happened so suddenly that no one could predict it in advance. As long as Ryan is a little calmer, he can figure it out. I had no chance to record a video at all. Fortunately, he is just a fool. His thinking ability is eroded by alcohol again, leaving only guilt and timidity. It doesn't matter whether he believes it or not. What's important is to make him realize that neither of us is easy to bully. Wilder was stunned. Us? Yes. I repeated firmly with a determined look. Us. 13. These 2 words touched Wilder. I found out from the first day. He murmured. You are really brave. I'm not brave. I'm just not afraid of death. I have a cheap life. If necessary, just take it away. I rolled up my sleeves and began to deal with the cream on the ground. Wilder also obediently came over to help. We rarely put aside our prejudices against each other and started chatting. Are you going to be bullied by them all the time? Dad doesn't like me. There's no way. No. There are ways. What? You turn around and bully them instead. Wendy. Are you joking? I'm not joking. I was very serious. Through this month's contact, I found that you are very smart. As long as you want to learn, you can always master it quickly. You didn't do well in the exam on purpose before, right? You want to attract your father's attention in this way? I was right. Wilder opened his mouth to refute, but couldn't utter a single word. There's no need for that. Wilder, you live not to make others like you. You'd better work hard and snatch all the things in your father's hands. Let the old man retire. Let the old man be unemployed. And let the old man live by looking at your face. I am extremely like a treacherous court official, who instigates the prince to seek power and usurp the throne. But Wilder seems to be persuaded by me. I strike while the iron is hot. And those friends of yours who are good for nothing, where were they when you needed them the most? When you were bullied by people like Ryan? Did they dare to openly side with you like I did? This is a fact. Wilder's eyes trembled and he asked, "Then what about you? Why do you dare?" "Because I can empathize with you." Wilder didn't speak again for a long time. There are cicadas chirping outside the window. The sweltering heat of midsummer turns into ambition, and swells in the body of the young man. "Ms. Lana, your son has gone a bit astray." I straightened him up a bit. "It's also to repay your kindness." 14. After tidying up the room. It's almost 12 o'clock. Wilder yawned. "I'm so sleepy. I'm going to sleep. I still have to get up early tomorrow morning to memorize words." "Wait." I called out to him. "There's something for you." "What?" "It can't be a new version of the word bank." I ran back to my room and took out a gift box. "Happy birthday." Wilder was stunned instantly. "I feel that you lack nothing. So I made a small pendant for you. Don't mind it." The pendant is in the shape of a birthday cake. But it's crooked and ugly. Looking at all the crooked stitches on it, I coughed. My skills are limited. "Don't mind. Today's cake was ruined. I thought there wouldn't be a cake anymore." Wilder lowered his head and smiled. His eyes were moist. "I haven't received a gift for a long time. I like it very much." "Thank you." He is originally good-looking. When he is on the verge of crying, there is actually a damn sense of fragility. Wilder meets my gaze. His eyelashes trembled. "What are you looking at?" "Wilder. You are really good-looking." The atmosphere suddenly changed. Wilder's ears turned red again. I don't know how long it has passed. Perhaps wanting to stop my gaze. Or maybe simply not thinking about anything. Wilder suddenly lowered his head. Cautiously. He kissed me. 15. As soon as his 19th birthday passed, Wilder seemed to have changed into a different person. He studied very hard. He is like a sponge, wantonly absorbing the knowledge he missed. He really doesn't associate with those good-for-nothing friends anymore. Sometimes Zoe comes to find him. "Is it your tutor? What kind of love potion did she give you?" Before she could finish speaking, Wilder closed the door. "I have no engagement with Zoe," he said for no reason. "Oh." I gave him a strange look. "Why are you explaining this?" "I don't want you to misunderstand. I don't like her and I have never thought about being with her." "If you want to explain, then explain. Don't use your mouth." Wilder held the back of my head and kissed me closely. Since the kiss on the night of his birthday, Wilder is out of control. He is obsessed with kissing me, and finds various reasons to ask for a kiss. "I did well on the mock exam paper. Right? This is not a reason for you to use your mouth. I just want some reward." The young man's black eyes are deep, full of desire. He gently rubs my lip bead with his fingertip. "Will you date me, sister?" Like a succubus. This description popped into my mind. No one can refuse such a Wilder. I grabbed a shred of reason and pushed him away. "Let's talk about it later." 16. I didn't mean to string Wilder along. I just think that he and I are not from the same world. We are too different. He is on a high now. Probably just because of impulse. The kind of impulse that young people all have. He doesn't care about reality. But I do. As for those dreams that seem to be about the future, perhaps they are really just dreams. I am very clear. One day, we will return to our respective tracks. But I didn't expect that day to come so soon. At the end of August, the matter of me beating up Ryan was still known by Chairman Chen. After all, that's his son. I was fired. However, Chairman Chen put forward a request. Don't tell Wilder that I was fired. In exchange, he will recommend an internship for me. This opportunity is extremely precious. It is a large enterprise that I have been longing for a long time. Out of curiosity, I asked Chairman Chen, why hide it? He replied, Xiao Yi is very dependent on you now. If he knows that I fired you, he might even seek revenge on me. You think he's too impulsive? He is my son. I know him best. After a pause, Chairman Chen said, now is the best time to separate you two before he is too deeply involved. So, he knows everything. Nothing can escape his eyes. He let me choose. Is there any need to consider? I resolutely accepted the internship offer. On the day I left, I was very calm. I finished explaining the last test point to Wilder. Then I closed the book and said, that's it. Wilder was completely unaware. Yawning, he went to sleep. After he fell asleep, I dragged my old suitcase and quietly closed the door, embarking on my own life. 17. The job introduced by Chairman Chen is in City C. It is a top 500 enterprise. The opportunity is truly rare. I am as excited as if I had been injected with chicken blood. Work hard and continuously accumulate experience. Except for the graduation defense, I almost never returned to City A. In a flash, 2 years have passed. I returned to City A because of a job change. I resigned from that large enterprise. I jumped ship to the group under the Chen family. For no other reason than that the Chen family offers a higher salary. The days after changing jobs were also calm. Until that Friday. Our department went to University A to hold a job fair. Before the opening, I was sitting in the backstage playing games. It seemed that someone had come outside. The colleague at the door was greeting enthusiastically. I casually asked, who is it? The partner playing games with me said, the boss's son. Ryan or Chenla Shui or the youngest one. Wilder. I was stunned. Partner, use your skills. You're going to be killed by the opponent. Wilder. Isn't he abroad? Who knows what's going on? It was said that he was sent abroad. As a result, the young master suddenly changed his mind, repeated a year to take the college entrance examination, and actually got admitted to University A. The partner clicked his tongue in amazement. Isn't it amazing? Originally thought to be a hopeless underachiever. Now he has become a favorite in the boss's eyes. Hurry up. Don't play anymore. He's coming in. I subconsciously looked up. That figure was so familiar that my heart missed a beat. 18. Wilder didn't see me. He just walked to the door and greeted the supervisor. After 2 years, he has grown taller again. There is much more stability between his eyebrows. He is more and more like the Wilder in my dreams. After the job fair ended, my colleagues and I were responsible for cleaning up. They were chatting about Wilder's gossip. Have you heard about the young master's scandal? Which one? Which one? It's said that he likes a girl and is extremely single-minded and affectionate. TSK. As is said in Rickshaw Boy, true romantics are always born into wealthy families. Is it so? I heard they are childhood sweethearts and come from families of equal social status. My movements paused, and I listened in silence. I also heard it Zoe. A few days ago, Zoe posted a hand-holding photo on Weibo. Some people said it was with Wilder. As I listened, I was lost in thought. So much so that I didn't notice that my colleagues behind me suddenly fell silent. Please pass me a cable tie, I said with my head down. For a long time, no one responded. I belatedly looked up and saw that Wilder was holding a whole bundle of cable ties. Standing behind me, 19 my colleagues tacitly closed their mouths. Wilder swung the cable ties. Again and again. What was hitting was his palm and also my heart. Finally willing to come back? His tone was casual. Long time no see. It's hard to believe you still remember me. Teacher Xiaoyang. He emphasized the last 4 words. He never called me by this title 2 years ago. But now he can. I said stiffly. Congratulations on being admitted to University A. Wilder let out a soft snort. If 2 years ago, he was just a prickly troublemaker who liked to tease people, then now, he is more mature. and the hostility between his eyebrows is even stronger. I got up, supporting myself on my knees. Wilder caught a glimpse of my clothes. White, professional shirt. Some dreams were recalled. His gaze became deep and obscure. A colleague pulled me over and asked in an extremely low voice. When? Do you know Wilder? I tutored him. But the atmosphere between you two doesn't seem very pleasant? I pursed my lips. Maybe I was too strict when I taught him. The colleague didn't suspect. Never mind that for now. Let's go have a meal together in the evening to celebrate the successful conclusion of today's job fair. Sure. Everyone agreed one after another. Just then, an extroverted colleague suddenly asked, "Young master, would you like to join us?" The other colleagues wished they could kick him. Why are you asking blindly? He still has classes. That's right. The young master is very busy. Not busy. Wilder curved his thin lips and glanced at me. Coincidentally, I have no classes tonight. Having a meal together. But with an ancestor. Everyone was extremely cautious and didn't dare to talk casually. In the end, that extroverted colleague got drunk and furiously hooked Wilder's shoulder. Young master. Just call me Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen. You are really a great person. No wonder you can turn things around and get into University A. After seeing you today, I have a whole new level of respect for you. We all held our breath for this colleague. But Wilder wasn't angry. Instead, he said politely, "Thank you, Brother Wang." His conversation was like a completely different person. So calm that it was astonishing. However, the smile on his face was always faint, as if there was an impenetrable veil. Burp. Xiao Chen. I heard that good things are coming for you. Come on. Brother Wang congratulates you first. I'm still single. How can good things be coming soon? Didn't you take a hand-holding photo with that daughter of the He family and make an official announcement? Wilder raised his eyebrows in surprise. I have completely cut off contact with her. How could we take a photo together? Oh. It was a misunderstanding. Brother Wang smiled awkwardly. But Xiao Chen, with your excellent conditions, there should be many girls chasing you at school. Right? I don't know. I don't pay much attention to those. Wilder suddenly looked up and gave me a gentle smile. Teacher Xiao Yang. Didn't you tell everyone? My first kiss was yours. 20. At the dining table. It was terrifyingly quiet. Even someone as thick-skinned as me wanted to find a crack in the ground to hide in at this moment. Brother Wang sobered up instantly. He chuckled awkwardly twice. Well, did I hear something I shouldn't have? Look, a situation that even an extrovert can't control has emerged. Subsequently, colleagues found excuses one after another and left early. No, they fled. Only I and Wilder were left. He calmly peeled shrimps as if nothing had happened just now. Wilder's fingers are very beautiful. Fair and slender. After peeling the shrimps, he put them in my bowl. I said helplessly. Why did you say that just now? Everyone will misunderstand. Misunderstand what? What I said is the truth. It's old news. There's no need to tell colleagues. Don't you like it? Not very much. Coincidentally. He looked up. I also don't like you leaving without saying goodbye, and disappearing without a trace. We're even. So, did you intentionally make me uncomfortable today? He didn't answer, which was equivalent to acquiescence. I also stopped talking. Because leaving without saying goodbye is a fact. I'm in the wrong first. What else is there to defend? I don't know how much time has passed. Wilder said. I know it was the old man who fired you. Not that you wanted to leave on your own. But the results are the same. It's not the same. Wilder shook his head. What makes me angry is that you made a decision on your own without consulting me. I choose the path I want to take and don't need to consult you. Why? There's a huge disparity between you and me. We're not from the same world. Moreover, In what capacity and stance do you want to participate in my decision-making? Wilder's face suddenly turned cold. I was reminding him that we had never been together from the beginning to the end. I continued. For example, today, if you hadn't seen me, we wouldn't have any intersection at all and wouldn't meet. But I saw you. No matter where you are, I will spare no effort to see you. Wilder's deep voice struck my eardrum. So, we will meet often in the future. Wendy. Be prepared. 21. Wilder quickly proved with actions that he wasn't talking nonsense. Our team has a new project. We received a temporary notice from the supervisor. Wilder will be with us. I don't know how he got the opportunity. Could it be that Chairman Chen has really changed his mind and wants to train him? Although Wilder is only a freshman, he has repeated grades and gone through remedial studies before. He is already 21 years old. He can fully participate in the project. The supervisor said meaningfully. Xiao Yang. As the team leader, be more accommodating to him. Me. Fortunately, Wilder is not at all sloppy when working. His ability is outstanding and completely exceeds expectations. He also never demands special treatment relying on his identity. As time passed, everyone let down their guard and got along well with him. When the project was about to be finalized, our team invited clients to a meal. On that day, I just happened to have a plan to do and stayed at the company to work overtime. That's when the accident happened. At 10 o'clock in the evening, colleague Xiao is suddenly called me, team leader. It's not good. Wilder got into a fight with the client. What? My first reaction was that Wilder is not such an impulsive person. Team leader. It can't be blamed on Xiao Chen. The reason he hit someone is. It's because of you. I saved the plan and rushed to the restaurant with my bag. On the way, Xiaoyi explained the whole story. The client representative this time is a greasy and lecherous middle-aged man. During the meal, he was drunk and asked, "Why didn't that Xiao Yang come? The team leader is staying at the company to work overtime today. How can this do? I came here especially for her. Only when she's here can this matter be discussed well." At this time, colleagues had already sensed something was wrong and tried to protect me. It's the same if we talk to you. The project content remains unchanged. The client representative waved his hand. I only want Xiao Yang. I rarely see a girl like her. Not only is she beautiful, but her eyes look at people coldly. But there's a certain charm. When she looks at me, my whole body feels weak. Quickly call Xiao Yang. If she entertains me well today, the project will owe. Before he could finish speaking, Wilder's fist had already landed. The scene directly got out of control, and colleagues were forced to call me. When I arrived, the private room was already in a mess. 22. Wilder didn't know that colleagues had called me. Just like I didn't know what Wilder was thinking at this moment, he was in overwhelming anger. Like a giant beast that has lost its reason. The client representative, with a bald head, huddled in the corner, scared and with snot running down. How can you hit people? I will terminate the cooperation and sue your Chairman Chen. Go ahead. Wilder was extremely calm. But the calmer he was, the more terrifying he seemed. The others brought by the client were all stunned and had no intention of stepping forward to stop him. Or perhaps they were also dissatisfied with the bald man. Wilder approached step by step. All he could think about was Wendy. It was her smile, her frown, her anger, every bit of her, and the softness of her lips. Wilder realized long ago that he had an excessive possessiveness towards Wendy. Once he thought of Wendy standing beside another man, smile, frown, or get angry at others, a wave of malice will then arise in Wilder's heart. A malice that makes him want to perish together with everyone. Wendy is sometimes close and sometimes distant. Like a goddess. He can't wait to prostrate himself at her feet and kiss the tips of her toes. Why on earth do these filthy men dare to covet her? After 2 years of growth, Wilder has long become steady, and is better at disguising. But no one knows that only when it comes to Wendy is he extremely terrifying. That bald man is still provoking him. You. Do you like that chick? If you had said so earlier, I would just play around and return her to you soon. Play? He really deserves to die. He truly deserves to die. Wilder didn't say a word. He bent down and picked up a broken wine bottle on the ground. Then, he raised his arm high. Suddenly someone called out to him, "Wilder." That voice cut through the chaos and brought back a trace of his sanity for him. Immediately after, the owner of the voice rushed over. She held his other hand. Lowering her head, she kissed the palm. "Wilder. Calm down. I am here." Wilder was stunned. The touch of her lips gave him a shock. It made him tremble all over and feel dizzy. Wendy interlocked his fingers as if to lock that kiss in his palm. "Be good and stop." Wilder received the instruction. Immediately, he let go of the broken wine bottle. He lowered his eyes and said obediently, "I'll listen to you." 23. Colleagues stayed behind to deal with the aftermath. I escorted Wilder home. Originally, I wanted to send him back to school, but with all the commotion until this time, the dormitory is about to close. In the end, I still sent him back to that villa. After not coming here for 2 years, the layout and furnishings haven't changed at all. You've had a hard day today. Take a bath and go to bed early. Don't you blame me? Blame you for what? I asked in return. You were so impulsive because you wanted to defend me. Although impulsiveness is wrong. In any case, I shouldn't blame the person who protects me. Wilder seemed to let out a sigh of relief. He lowered his head and rested it on my shoulder. I'm sorry. It's okay. The cooperation can be negotiated again. I know you were looking forward to this project very much. I will find a way to fill this gap. I patted him. I was looking forward to the project bonus very much. But that doesn't mean I am willing to be insulted. Wilder moved his head. It was itchy in the nape of my neck. After that, he became a bit naughty, pressing against my shoulder and neck. He kissed carefully. After several attempts and finding that I didn't intend to push him away, he then cupped my face and deepened the kiss. This kiss was more devoted and more forceful than ever before. Unknowingly, my back was against the desk. The desk where I once tutored him in English. Wilder's hand moved downward. Sister, when we were apart, I missed you very much. Did you miss me? No. He exerted some strength in his hand. Don't light a night. I did miss you. How did you miss me? His eyes were shining brightly and full of allure. When you missed me, would you do this? And what about you? I threw the question back. How did you miss me? He smiled and took my hand and extended it to himself. I would miss you and do this at the same time. Fortunately, the light was dim, covering my blushing face. Wilder teased for a long time and then asked me, "Is it okay?" I nodded. He freed up his other hand and unbuttoned his white shirt. Sister, I wanted to do this 2 years ago. Kiss me, okay? I suddenly realized. The calendar on the table is today. April 2026. The dream is real. 24. Wilder has had his first taste and is indefatigable. He is only 21 years old, and is in a time of abundant energy. He didn't let me go until early morning after tossing and turning all night. Before going to sleep, he asked expectantly, "Sister, how was my performance?" I said, "Very good." He immediately became full of energy and wanted to continue performing. Fortunately, I kicked him away in time. Later, somehow, he and I developed into a bed partner relationship. As a bed partner, Wilder is flawless. At the same time, Wilder is also true to his word when it comes to making up for the gap in the project. After offending the client representative, the group punished him. He took all the responsibility and didn't implicate any colleagues. Subsequently, he found a childhood friend. That childhood friend is familiar with the other company. After several communications, the other party indicated that they are willing to replace the client representative and continue to advance the project. The new client representative is a girl who is only a few years older than me. On the first day she took over. She came to apologize to me. She said, "The previous person was rude and insulted you. It should have been us who apologized." Looking at her business card, I felt it was somewhat familiar. "Have you also been funded by Ms. Lana?" "Yes." "Are you too?" "I saw your name on the list of recipients before." "Great. We all have our own lives and careers." Later, the cooperation went very smoothly. I also got the project bonus. Spring passed and summer came. In August, I went to meet a blind date. There was a reason for this. I met this blind date once half a year ago, introduced by a warm-hearted older colleague. The conditions are not bad. He is not that kind of weird blind date. But I just don't have any spark with him. During these 6 months, the other party has repeatedly tried to ask me to meet again. But I declined politely every time. Until last week, the older colleague came to me with some embarrassment. "Xiao Yang, go have another meal with him. It seems that he really has a crush on you." "Sis. No matter how many meals I have with him, I won't accept him." "Understood. Understood. Sis doesn't mean to force you. I just think that you should reject him face to face with harsh words so that he can completely give up." "Okay, he is so persistent." "All right. Just to give my colleague's elder sister some face." On Saturday night, I went to the appointment. I said, "I already have a boyfriend. Don't ask me to meet you again from now on." "Since when?" "Recently." The other party was very disappointed but could only accept it. He said he had prepared a gift for me. Eternal rose. I didn't want to accept it. So I reached out and pushed it back. At that moment, I felt a cold gaze behind me. Subconsciously, I turned around. Wilder was standing there, looking at me expressionlessly. 25. I was almost carried home by Wilder. Summer vacation came, and he moved back to the villa. He threw me on the bed and dimmed the light. Then, without any explanation, he tore off the buttons of the white shirt. "Sister, who is he?" "A blind date." His hand paused, and he couldn't help but use a little more force. "I have skin that is easily marked." With this action of his, he directly left a red mark on my chest. "Did you wear such a short skirt just to meet him?" Angry? I secretly smiled and deliberately teased him. "Yes." Wilder bit me randomly on my skin as if in a rage. "I can bear the storm." Wilder is fiercer than ever today. Our intertwined figures are projected on the wall, showing the undulating rhythm. Sweat dripped from his forehead. "Wendy, look at me." After the ferocity came pleading. "I am your good dog. Don't leave me again. Okay? Okay. Won't you see him again in the future?" I didn't plan to see him again anyway. I explained the whole story to Wilder. Suddenly, he let out a sigh of relief. "Don't see any other blind dates in the future either." "I don't plan to go on blind dates anymore." I touched his face and said softly, "Because I have a boyfriend now." Wilder was shocked and delighted. "You finally let me become official?" "Yes. I've figured it out. We can give it a try even if we are not in the same world." Such a boyfriend with extraordinary looks, family background and physical fitness. It's a waste not to date him. Wilder is more determined than me. He raised his lips and smiled, with a whole galaxy in his eyes. "Wendy, don't worry. I will break down the barriers between the two worlds for you." 26. The next day, we didn't wake up until noon. We were still woken up by the doorbell. Wilder kissed me on the face and reluctantly went to open the door. It was his childhood friend. Damn. His childhood friend looked at the scratches and kiss marks on his body in shock. "You have a partner?" "Yes." Wilder puffed out his chest proudly. "From now on, I am different from you single dogs. You're so damn annoying." I changed my clothes and came out. "Who's here?" When his childhood friend saw me, his eyes wide and even bigger than copper bells. "Is it her? Your little tutor?" "That's right." My Wen. Wilder's tone was full of happiness. You told me that you wouldn't like her even if all the women in the world died out. As soon as the words fell, the room was silent. Well, brother, I'm sorry. I accidentally said it. His childhood friend covered his mouth awkwardly. I did say that, Wilder admitted frankly. But in the next second, he obediently raised his hand and slapped himself. Sister, don't be angry. I'll slap myself for you first. 27 later and later. Wilder and I have gone through many seasons together. We are both growing rapidly. During this period, we have experienced many storms. Fortunately, we two have always cooperated tacitly. Wilder walked all the way to his father. He is even fiercer than Chairman Chen. And also more intelligent. Most importantly, he has the help of the Li family. In the past, he was good for nothing and cut off contact with his grandparents. Now that he wants to make a career, the Li family can't be happier. With the help of the Li family, people like Ryan are nothing. By the way, Ryan is in prison because of gambling and womanizing. The other two elder brothers are not much better. One broke his leg and the other got into trouble with his enemies and had to flee abroad. There is a rumor that the fates of these three people are miserable. And in fact, it is all Wilder's doing. People in the company are afraid of him. They say he is like an untamable beast. And for me, I have an extra nickname. The Animal Tamer. I am Wilder's bottom line and his reins. As long as I am here, Wilder will be much better behaved. Later on, Wilder succeeded in usurping the throne. He brought the world he had conquered and proposed to me. On the wedding day, the wedding was simple. Lana's former assistant flew back to the country. She told us in a hurry. Before Ms. Li passed away, she left videos for all the girls she had helped. Unfortunately, the data was damaged. It was only recently that it was finally restored. I immediately stopped the master of ceremonies and played the video. This is also Wilder's chance to see his mother again. After a hissing sound, Lana appeared on the big screen. Wilder trembled slightly and even slowed his breathing. Hello, Wendy. Seeing this video, you must have achieved good results. I can't be there in person to congratulate you, but I hope that you will always be free. At the end of her speech, she seemed to remember something. By the way, I have a son named Wilder. I don't know why, but I always feel that you will meet in the future. If one day you meet him, please convey for me, with a smile on her lips. She said gently. In this world, there will be someone who loves him.